Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine by Night. Thank you for coming and listening to our wine tasting notes and reviews. If you do like these series of videos, please hit the subscribe button and maybe share it out with 5 of your friends. Would be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much. Today, we're going to be talking about Chenin Blanc. Now, Chenin Blanc is originating from France, from the Loire Valley, and it can come in an array of different styles. However, it's grown in typically 3 main areas. It's grown in France, it's grown in South Africa, and it's grown in California. Now, the ones that were grown originally in California and South Africa used to be more bulk wines, value wines, because Chenin Blanc is a white grape variety that has extreme vigor. And I don't know if you've heard this comparison, but grapevines typically like to fight. They like to fight for the nutrients. They like things to be a little bit rougher in their life to give you that better quality wine. Now, that said, there's areas in South Africa now that do dry farming, which instead of irrigating like you might see in California and things like that, and which really will plump up those grapes so that they're more dilute in the flavors because they have such a great water content in them. In France, however, you see a lot of different styles such as Vouvray, and then you have the ones that are affected by noble rot that give you these really succulent, sweet dessert wines. And how they do it when they go to pick things that are botrytized, which is the noble rot, they can go many passes through the vineyard and they're just hand picking the individual berries that meet the criteria of maybe the most noble rot botrytis affected grapes, so they can do several passes, which is great. And then from that, because they can do this, they can pick other grapes to use in other wine styles, from their dry to their semi-sweets. And also you can use Chenin because of its great acidity in things like sparkling wine, which is fantastic as well. Usually done in the traditional style method, can be known as Cremant de Loire, can be known as Samor with the sparkling style as well. So lots of great, interesting ones out there. Ones that are typically labeled Vouvray are going to be more of the off-dry style. And today we're actually going to be using one from South Africa, and it is Bellingham. So you can see a picture of it right like this. And this one is from Old Vines. And the interesting thing about this is that they do hand pick all of their grapes, but they ferment in whole bunches. Now with whole bunches, you do need to be slightly careful in your fermentation technique because of those seeds and the stem pieces that will still be there as part of the vinification process. And you don't want to extract all those bitter and harsh phenolics from those. So they do like a nice light press, the juice runs off, and then you get this beautiful straw-colored wine. Now this one, I did just open it. You probably heard it cracking right there. There's a little bit of nuances. You get some minerality here on the top. This one in particular has been aged in French oak barrels, but again, they're the older French oak barrels. They've been used 3 times. So this one, it's not highly aromatic. There are some. I'm not really getting like the fruits, like the florals in it, but you're definitely getting your fruits, like your peaches. You're getting some like really light, ripe lemon, orange notes, which I kind of like refer to it as it's marmalade. That's what it makes me think of, is when you open that jar of marmalade. So you get that like little bit of sweetness to it, like a honey note, but it's like those orange and peach notes as well. There's also a little bit of like mineral note to this. And what I describe as South African funk. I'd love to be able to articulate exactly how I interpret that, but it's just something when I smell a wine, I'm like, oh, that's probably from this place. So again, this is the Bellingham, and it is the Old Orchards Chenin Blanc, and it is from Old Vines. Oh, yeah. This one has about a medium body. Still got great acidity coming in there. And it's got this, the mineral. You can taste it on the back end. This would be grown on shale and granite soils primarily. So you're gonna have like good drainage in those soils when it does rain. And South Africa is good for growing this type of grape because they have that long summer, that Mediterranean style climate that they're getting. But yeah, the taste, it follows exactly what you're smelling. You get those orange, that little peach, those stone fruit notes, but then you get that bright acidity on the back. So again, this style is definitely on the dry, crisp style that I'm expecting when I pick up a South African Chenin Blanc. So quite pleased with this one. In New Brunswick, it's available hit and miss in the stores, depending. Again, this I think came in through one of the experience programs. It's about $20 a bottle. So for what I'm expecting, being a nice, clean, crisp wine, but gives me a little bit more body so that it stands up with a bit more food choices if you wanted to pair it with food. It'd be really good. This would go really well with something like a roasted pork chop with like some, because of the marmalade notes, with maybe some like applesauce, barbecue style on that pork. Also would hold up really well with a nice fish or tofu, if that's your thing. Cheers, hope you enjoyed. Again, feel free to hit the subscribe button. That'd be great for me. Thank you. Have a good day.